also Mouse. This is our project. I'm Chris. And
I'm Tommy.
I'm Chris.
I'm Stewie.
Our project is about privacy within communal living, such as tenement living in Edinburgh. The idea being that these are used to create a similar interaction that you would have when you were listening through the wall into your noisy neighbour's house. Except instead of noisy neighbours, we have soundscapes depicting the life cycle of a building.
I started it, and it's the passion of architecture and the planning of architecture before it gets to the construction.
Yeah, I'm doing the construction side.
Yeah, I'm doing the usage, which is how we use the spaces that we've built throughout the course of our lives, and how the different spaces affect how we behave in them as well.
And I finish off with the demolition of buildings, particularly inspired by the recent demolition of Cockenzie Power Station, which was great.
I'm Tabitha, and this is the Dimension book, and I try to show the fact that architecture can influence people's feelings. I use the bare conductive board, the bare conductive ink and thread, and whenever someone comes closer, you can hear music playing, and the visualization of the piece actually influences the music, and the LED are lit as well.
Right, so the project is called Hidden Spaces. The main concept is, was to show interior architecture of the grand piano, which you can see on that screen there. I will play beautifully for you now. Yeah, okay. So a piano player is tuning music into architecture, which you can see on the big screen.
Okay, this is my project, the Urban Expansion Project. So basically we have a collage of urban imagery and a collage of natural imagery, both taken from Scotland. The urban imagery is taken from Edinburgh. We put 1,500 images together to create the background, and we've connected a sensor up, and whenever the sensor is triggered, it produces urban images within a cluster in the centre. And each image has unique iterations, making the artwork unique to the user who views it. It has a random rotation and random opacity and random position, all expanding outwards. After a while, when no one interacts with it, natural landscape overlaps the urban landscape and reverts back to its original state.
So our project is called Metropolis. It's basically an interactive cityscape based on proximity sensors and conductive threads, which controls the sound. You interact with the city, the larger it grows. We've also got some pollution coming in from the side.
Go away, go away, go away.
So the concept is that the more you interact with the city, the bigger and more positive it grows.
The less you interact, well, it just decreases and dies.
This is a built-up exhibit, and it basically explores the entropy created by architecture, all the resources that are used and the energy that's needed to create the buildings, by getting the user to expend their energy. It's got industrial soundtrack that goes across. It starts with very early buildings. At the moment we've gotten to the futuristic stage. We've got very kind of space age noises. We have another piece over there. We look at low entropy using a sustainable material of wooden blocks, and as the viewer plays with those blocks and experiments to make a more colourful world, there's an RGB camera that picks up the colours and actually influences the animation.
So the main concept behind the installation was to go out and look at how sound reacts in certain acoustic environments, and we wanted to capture these and then be able to reproduce them through speakers at the installation. When we decided what sounds we wanted people to be able to play with within the sort of the space that would be sort of creating, we decided the best thing would be like a choir, because that's like a conventional thing that people go to sing in spaces, and some natural percussive elements such as just like claps and stomps in the ground. Then just take the recording of that and we can put that through the sort of reverb convolution technology that we've got running in the computer.
Okay, so basically we are Invisible. We're a 4-piece team that have made an augmented reality project which combines digital rendering of models as well as 3D printed models.
We're looking at the relationship with a small town and basically the relationship with the city through building it yourself with a sort of digitally rendered modeling that essentially you put markers down and using Unity it basically pops up when it reads the marker, it pops up a building in the city, and alongside 3D printed models you can build a small city and you can interact with it. It's kind of, you can play around with it and just sort of build your own cityscape, and it just kind of makes you think about the way buildings work together and sort of where they sit in the world, basically.